Having made your way over the end wall, you are faced with a vast forest. Using a telescope Polka had been carrying, you search for a place to alight. From the look of it, there is only one safe place to land. There was a ferocious monster lurking in the spot where you were trying to land. The group, acting as though nothing oozy or squishy has happened, alights from the vessel. Almost immediately, you spot something glowing in the snow. Perhaps the monster was attempting to hide it there. Polka gazes at the surroundings appreciatively. He tells you that he has never seen a land so verdant in all his life. You can't argue with him. Greenery swathes the area all around you. To battle! Beautiful! The group shrieks the words in unison. The cold is even more biting here than on the end wall. In no way could people live in temperatures like this. You decide to confer with the others on your next course of action. You ask Legol's opinion on what to do next, but he offers no more than a shrug and a grunt. You ask Polka's opinion on what to do next. He replies, "While we were flying, I saw what looked like a village. And if I recall correctly, it was that way," he says, pointing to the northeast. You ask Trollis's opinion on what to do next. She munches on a piece of fruit. You're not entirely sure where she found it. In fact, she has a whole armful. She hands you one and motions for you to have a bite. The place is bitterly cold, but it is replete with trees and greenery and delicious fruit like this. It seems that Newterra is as incredible as the rumors said. The group decides to go with Polka's idea for now, and sets off in the direction of what he thought was a village. Battle time. The monsters are hesitating for some reason. Take this chance to bring them down. You discover a village nestled in a mass of trees. However, The place is quiet. Quiet enough to be off-putting. For caution's sake, you'd best keep your guard up if you're going to enter. The group enters the village. You can see traces indicating the place must have been inhabited, but no sign of any people. The place is still as death, a ghastly atmosphere hanging in the air. Legol seems to be frightened of something. Might he scare easily in places like this? In any event, you want more information. You decide to investigate the village. The walls are riddled with claw marks and bloodstains. Was this place attacked by monsters? Recalling the subterranean village, you cover your mouth and drop your head. Feel sick? Trollis asks, worried about you. With your eyes cast downward, you spot what appears to be a scrap of paper with a drawing on it. This place must have been a weapon shop of some kind. You note a number of still usable weapons arrayed on its shelves and walls. No small number of them look like implements of torture. You and the others give the distasteful shop a quick once-over and decide to be quit of the place. Some of the weapons on display look like tools of torture. Legol says, "We've searched this place enough. Let's go." This place looks like it was an inn. With a little tidying up, it should be perfectly usable. Legol is clearly not in favor of the idea. "We're not seriously going to sleep here, are we?" Polka counters that not only is there nowhere else to sleep, but critically, it won't cost anything to rest here. Having argued down Legol's disagreement, the group decides to sleep at the inn. After getting a bare minimum of rest, you leave the inn. Within the small building, you find some things that look like laboratory equipment, along with a sturdy-looking cage. Legol says, "Let's hurry and get out of here." The fright in his voice is plain. You suppose he really doesn't like unsettling places like this. You feel a bit of guilt at the thought, but can't help but find it a little cute to see Legol acting so unlike his usual stoic self. As Legol hurries everyone along, Polka inspects the equipment. He manages to locate a scrap of paper with some kind of drawing on it. On the shelves, you spy a number of salves, poultices, and other medicinals. Maybe this place was an apothecary. Polka says that several of the items could be of use, so you decide to borrow them, minus the especially suspicious-looking ones. Upon the walls of the sturdy building, there is a single word written in crude lettering. Help. Gazing at the writing, all the color drains from Legol's face, and he looks ready to make a run for it. You reach out a hand to comfort him, but as you do, you spot a scrap of paper at his feet with what looks like a drawing on it. Having given the village a once-over, you decide to return to the inn ruin for the time being and review what you've learned. However, you don't have a clear picture of what happened here. Absent any other ideas, you take the scraps of paper you found during your search and lay them out on top of a desk. Looking at the images on the scraps, Polka realizes that they must have originally formed a single page. With the scraps assembled properly, they form what appears to be a map. Looking closely, you spot a flower drawn in one particular location. Something about it calls to mind a childhood memory for Polka. Polka stands dazed and unmoving. You ask if anything is wrong, but he replies, "No, nothing at all." Breaking the reverie, a something black as midnight assails the party. You reach for your weapon, ready to fend off a monster. But when you take a look, Legol's upbraiding brings you back to the moment, and you grip your weapon tight, ready to fight. Sometimes the monster-like thing's attacks are ferocious. Like darkness come to life, it steadily wears you down. Trollis seems to be feeling the same unease you are in regards to the creature. You've managed to defeat the creature and hold a card aloft to seal it. It doesn't seem to work, though. Maybe this really isn't a monster after all. A little troublesome having to deal with all these unknown foes, isn't it? Exclaims Polka. The four of you decide to run for it. But when you turn, you find Steelborough soldiers blocking your path, trapping you. Perhaps they're in pursuit of those responsible for killing everyone in the Senate. Legol clicks his tongue. The group decides that it would be better to take on the soldiers than to challenge the black creatures. However, the Steelborough soldiers ignore you and start to fight with the creatures. The thought of just running for it crosses your mind. But the soldiers are still people. You can't just leave them to die. The soldiers don't wait for your help and manage to bring down the shadowy creatures. Polka shouts his appreciation to the soldiers. "Thank you so much." They turn to look at you and Polka, and with a nod, they attack you this time. Sometimes you get lucky. A masterful victory! You manage to defeat the Steelborough soldiers. You question one of them, asking how many of them are pursuing you. In the next instant, the soldier is back on its feet and rushing at you. Legol turns to you. We shouldn't linger here. Abiding his suggestion, you decide to hurry away from the place.